Were you here when I was forced out? Now my foolish boat is leaning. Broken love, Lord, on your rocks, for you sing. Touch me not, come back tomorrow. No, my heart, oh, my heart shards from the sorrow. Well, I'm as puzzled as a newborn child. I'm as riddled as the tide. Should I stand amid the breakers, or should I lie with death, my bride? Hear me sing.
Shall I lie with death, my bride? Welcome to the Pisces Full Moon. A single tear drips down my face. This was the Song to the Siren by White Sun, and it was actually played at and recorded for Guru Jagat's memorial for her service, and it was played while her body was being cremated. And today is Guru Jagat's birthday on the blue full moon in Pisces, a little over 2 years after she passed. If you do not have her incredible work called Invincible Living, The Power of Yoga, the Energy of Breath, and the Other Tools for a Radiant Life, I highly suggest that you purchase it. And if you want to support her creation that continued on because of all the people that she impacted and because of her vision, her dream that she brought to life, you can purchase it right from Rama Yoga Institute for Yogic Science and Technology, and support a small business and support my teachers. But welcome to Wisdom Circle. My name is Hope. I'm so glad we're here tonight to share about the retrograde season we're moving through. The slowing down season that we are in currently as we reevaluate, reassess, and reimagine and realign. I want to share about Virgo, the energy of Virgo, and what we're moving through this season, this 30-day season that we get once a year to purify and to, in many ways, separate so that we can remember we are one, and so that we can be as mystical AF as we possibly can be, because Pisces is the mystic. So I know that a couple of you are Pisces moons or have Pisces suns or rising signs or heavy Pisces placements, and I bow to you because it's hard being a mystical creature in the land of logic. It is, right? So tonight, my plan, gosh, there's so much I want to share. There are so many things that I pull from that just want to be shared. And that's what I love about having a multitude of tools and places that I reach out to, that I go to in order to be able to bring it forward. So thank you again for being here. Thank you again for your presence, because we are so powerful when we come together energetically. So tonight, make sure that you have your journal. We're going to write a little bit. I'm going to have a couple of prompts that I'm going to encourage you to get down with and to write them down now, because you're not going to write them down later, right? Let's be honest. I never do. I'm like, I'm going to go back to that recording, and then I don't. Make sure you have water, hydrate. Any cards, any crystals. I actually have from Angela. She gifted me this really beautiful ocean jasper. And on the Pisces, it's a Pisces full moon. I encourage you to take a bath. You can come from the bath if you want. Camera on or off, I don't care. I encourage you to do an enema. I did one of those today as well, actually, like an hour before we practiced today, as I was water fasting, and watermelon juice fasting today, since full moons are big energy for parasites and for the growth of these, right? And we can feel that in our mind, the parasitic thoughts that want to kind of creep in. And I also was like, earlier all today, I was wearing black because I felt very inward and I needed that inward. But then I said, I'm gonna throw on white, and I'm gonna read to you from the laws of life about this divine shield, because we still are in the year of 7. And the divine shield, this is coming from the cosmic laws section of the laws of life, says the law to cross the crisis in life is remain with the orbit. It is called the divine shield. It is called Kar. We're going to do a meditation where we say Ek Onkar. Okay. It is the first word of the scripture in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib, Ek Onkar. It's also included in the Mool mantra, which is the root mantra. In one's creative domain, you must exist. If you exist in God's will, there cannot be any trouble that will not be solved. As we're moving through this retrograde period, y'all, your will is, yes, your will is important, but God's will is greater. And that's where we get to, again, reimagine and recreate the life that we really want to see be brought into fruition. So we have to dream, okay? Look at the cosmic law. This body has an aura. That's your shield. There is nothing God has made which doesn't have a protective aura around it. And you need a protective aura. That's why we work. We work to provide ourselves with protection. Work is a worship. Accomplishment is happiness. But in that, there are higher values and lower values. Do you work for the higher values, or do you work for the lower values? That is the only point of dispute. And I find that full moons illuminate and bring out the both parts. It illuminates the darkness that wants to be seen. It wants to be heard. It wants to be felt. And oftentimes so that it can be shed. And we have the full moon. I'm so glad we're practicing this. You know, it's funny because those dark thought forms all day were like, just cancel. Just cancel. The kids were acting ridiculous. Like on a whole new level of ridiculous. And shout out to the moms out there who get it. It was so intense. And I was like, no, I have a different capacity for this now. I can't cancel. I can't cancel on God. I can't cancel on divinity. I can't postpone the inevitable. That is the point of dispute, right? Are you going for the higher value? And then lastly, it says here, why do you wear white? The law is the law of the prism. All 7 colors shall project in you and reflect in you when you wear white. When you wear all cotton, it will be totally absorbent as part of a protective layer on your body, and your aura will increase from 6 inches to 1 foot. So rock the white, you know, even after Labor Day. Okay. So I'm going to jump in for Virgo season because when I was pulling cards earlier, my first deck that was ever given to me, this thing is so worn, y'all. It's so worn. The Heart of Fairy Oracle. I love pulling Oracle. I'm not a tarot reader, but I love pulling oracles because we are all oracles. We are all up for interpretation, right? And I like the energy of the fairies. It's very light and it's very mystical and it's fun. So the first card that I pulled, we have a full moon in Virgo at 7 degrees, which means that Virgo sun is at 7 degrees. The moon will meet it tonight at 9:35 p.m. Eastern at 7 degrees. And the sun will illuminate whatever the moon is reflecting. It's early. So when we have the first 10 degrees of a sign, every 10 degrees is called a decan. So when we have a full moon within the first 10 degrees of a sign, it is full on the energy pulling from the energy of that sun sign. Okay. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. We are reworking how we communicate on an internal, subtle level as much as we are doing that in the external. Patterns of communication have to change in order for the world to reflect a different way of being. Okay. I want you to really watch this season with all these retrogrades, how much you subscribe to the fear porn. And I am one to look, okay? But I am choosing to not look as hard because it's so seductive. It is so seductive. The darkness and the fear and whatever is being projected from the people who want us to be separate, the occultists, which, by the way, the occult is what separates. And occult is not bad because the occult is what brings what is hidden into light. But it's a separation, okay? And sometimes Virgo, hello, separates in order to purify, but we don't want to lose sight of the bigger picture, which is to be a mystic, which is to unify. So mysticism unifies, whereas occultism separates. So whatever fear porn you're watching is feeling it's separating you from your loved ones, it's separating you from your destiny, it's separating you from your purpose, pivot. When you turn your head in a different direction, do you know that it turns your organs as well? It's really subtle. You can do it. It takes a minute. You can close your eyes. I was doing this earlier when I was doing my enema. TMI. But it's Virgo season, so do your enemas. But turning your head, you'll feel how the spine subtly shifts and everything connects to your spine, right? So if everything is connected to your spine, and your spine is connected to your heart, and your spine is connected to your gut, pivot the direction in which you look when something is trying to separate you from your divine purpose. Just look the other way. Okay? Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. It's Buddha. Okay. So the first card that came up for Virgo was the Lady of the Unicorns. I love when the lady cards come up because they're so sweet. The lady cards in this deck refer to the queens as they are more personal they differ from the queens in that they are more personal, okay? And that they can be more temperamental. And guess what? We're human beings and we're temperamental. Okay? So the three words that go along with this card are belief, magical connection, and guardianship. All right. So she says here, this is the lady of belief and longing. The unicorn, which is a symbol of purity and a symbol of grace, and we're going to get into grace in a minute, and love is under her guardianship. She is the keeper of our longing to connect with magical beings. She holds our need to believe and she cherishes it. Belief is such an important part of living a true and magical life. If you do not believe in what you are doing, if you do not believe in what you are selling or sharing or giving to the world, why are you fucking doing it? Why are you doing it? Just stop. Just stop and pivot. Take a slow down break and go, why am I doing this? Because your why is more important than how you're going to get there. The magic will figure itself out. The magic will get you there. The God will get you there. But your why, do you believe it? Do you believe it? Do you believe you can do it? Belief can help us overcome depression and despair. It can lead us toward a brighter future. Give her your longings and she will keep them and care for you. Come to her when you need to be reminded of the importance of what you believe in, and she will restore that belief in you. You are a unicorn if you're here, and you're most likely a unicorn amongst your friends. You're most likely a unicorn amongst your family. You're most likely a person who someone comes to when they've lost their faith, when they've lost belief in these messed up systems that want to keep us separate. And you help them remind themselves of how divine they are. And remember that if anyone here needs a buddy, that you can easily reach out to anybody here. You can put it in the daily 333 chat. I need prayers. I need someone to remind me. I need someone to remember, help me remember what I believe in. Okay? And Virgo shows you, because when you are out of alignment with your beliefs, you get sick. Has that ever happened to you? Yo, I was so sick for months because I knew in my heart that I was supposed to close Akasha Yoga Institute. It was supposed to transform into something else, but I was holding on. Oh, I was holding on so tight. And I was getting sick and I had brain fog and I couldn't get out of bed and I was tired and I was crying all the time. I didn't want to talk about it. But the minute I talked about it and the minute that someone remembered that it's not how you get there, it's why are you doing this? That matters. And that you can reinvent, you can be temperamental and change your mind. You can change your mind. This is your life. So the next card that came through, which I read earlier today in Daily 333, was the returning. Okay, 65. And these cards are from, hold on, I just gotta flip back to my section here. Okay. Oh, bless you. Hold on. These are the journey cards. Okay. So part of the journey is the remembering. Part of the journey is returning and remembering that we are here for profound change. We are here to bring upon new perspective and a deeper understanding. And so I love her. I love her so much. She's holding on to this beautiful unicorn horn staff. All right. And her words are profound change, new perspective, and understanding. And she says, what is the returning? Is it the end? Hardly. And I don't know if any of you follow Chelsea Diane. I'm in her Poems and Power, which is bringing me back so much life. It's making me remember that I was a writer and that I can be a writer again, and that poetry is your soul, right? So I took her Mary Queen of Scots class live. She was in Mary's castle, okay? The castle that she was taken and then imprisoned, went into battle and then, with the boat, and then was in prison. That was the last castle she was at. That's where she was staying. One of the things that Mary said right before, in all her red and in all her glory, one of the things she said was, in the end is my beginning. And when Chelsea spoke those words out loud, I was like, yes. Because hasn't that ever happened to you? It's felt like the end. And it is the end. You have to have an end to have a new beginning. And we forget that. We forget that when we go on, if we have done our work, that we are going to be remembered way beyond our last heartbeat. That we are going to be literally carried on through the hearts of all the people that we have touched with our spirit. Says, is it the end? Hardly. There is no end in fairy. Where has this fairy been? What has she seen? What has she brought back with her? A pearl of wisdom? A unicorn horn? What tales will she tell you? Do you go on adventures in your life? Do you let yourself adventure? Do you let yourself remember? The paths you follow flow into each other, and at the end of one path is the beginning of another as you journey deeper into the heart of the realm. The returning is coming home, coming back to a place that is no longer only where you started from, but somewhere much more profound. I came home 3 years ago, literally to my childhood home, to remember with a different perspective after being profoundly changed from experiences and needing that comfort, but also needing to change this space and the energy so that my family can have a different future. Have you ever done that? Have you ever, are you the change maker in your family? Are you the wild one? Are you the one that they are like, well, she's just off doing something crazy? You're the mystic in your family. Because you remember. You can't return and expect things to have remained the same while you were away. That's the other deal with these retrogrades, okay? Yes, visually, it looks like the planets are moving backwards. They don't move backwards. They slow the F down. Just like you cannot move backwards in your life, but you can slow down. You do have control of that. And people who get real pissy during retrogrades are the ones who hate slowing down enough to look at their life and to be honest with themselves. Because honesty requires a trust in divine will. And to hand your power over to something bigger takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of faith that you will be okay. Everything shifts and changes, moving on and metamorphosizing into something new. If you draw the returning, think about what it is that you really wish to change in your life. As you sit with the returning before you, visualize what would happen if you just walked out of the room for a moment and upon returning found that your understanding of a present situation has changed in a profound way. For the mothers out there, or for anybody out there who ever had their parent or their mother just walk away for a moment when you're in the midst of an argument, or you do this with your partner, you have to walk away for a minute. You don't walk away forever, but you walk away to take that breath, to ground your feet on the earth, to remember that like the mess has to get messy in order for there to be made order from, right? Grace. Grace. What would it take to make that change happen? What could you do? How would you need to feel to shift your perspective? Sometimes by taking a moment to return to where you are now, you will be able to see the moment with greater clarity and insight, and the next step on your journey will become clearer as well. Sometimes we really do have to remove ourselves from the just, the pace of Earth right now. It's not life-giving, it's life-taking. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed how many people have just lost the life behind their eyes, have lost the soul? Because we've been conditioned to just work and work and grind and never stop moving. Because if you start to look at it a little harder, you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Am I actually happy? Are my accomplishments fulfilling me? It takes work to slow down. That's been one of the biggest parts of my journey. But one of the reasons I think we're so scared to slow down is because we're not hydrated. Water wants to flow through you. You are the water. Do you have enough water? Do you have enough life to sustain the dream that you want to drip down from the heavens? Before I read the last card, water elementally comes in 3 forms: liquid, Cancer; solid, Scorpio; and air, Pisces. You have to let yourself evaporate. You have to let yourself merge with the heavens and fill up an entire cloud to rain down and water your dreams. The systems and the structures are Virgo. You can't stay in the clouds forever. You can't just float off into 12D. You inhabited a body for a reason. Okay? There are so many spiritualists out there who are like so disconnected from the 3D. That's you look around, you're like, oh, well, you've done probably too much ayahuasca, bruh. Okay? And you have to come back to earth and remember that there are systems and structures in place to benefit you. There's a market out there for you to literally create something from nothing. There are people out there that want you to share your dream and share your vision because they have money that they want to give you, but you don't let it rain. You don't let yourself speak. You don't let the air come out of your voice box, from your gut, the thing that fires you up to take action. So we have to flow like water. We have to go through the cycles of rain, of hydrating and permeating the soils, of being stable and strong enough to grow something. And then we have to let ourselves evaporate and do it all over again. So the last card, the shadow of the past. It's kind of sexy, isn't it? Look at those horns. You can almost see the horns of Aries. Okay. You can see the horns of the past, the horns of war, of fighting. Okay. But you see this beautiful, beautiful woman up here with a flower in her hair. Past love, letting go, resolution. In this season that we're in, this particular Virgo season, with all these retrogrades, with this mystical once in a blue moon, meaning that we get a second full moon in 1 month, okay, occurrence, which isn't going to happen again until 2037. It's big, feels good. With Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Uranus, Pluto, Neptune, Chiron, okay, past loves, things are going to creep up. All my technology has been failing. Okay. Things that I think that I want to say are not being sent. And then hours later, and I thank God for it. So I'm like, that isn't actually what I wanted to say. And in the moment I got mad. But I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to put that on that person. That's an old program. That's a rush. Now I have, and I didn't send. Woof, thank goodness. I have clarity. I have a resolution. I have a solution. Okay. The shadow of the past says the past can haunt, especially past relationships and past loves. In fairy, when you wander in the past, time takes on a different meaning. Time takes on a different meaning. Things that may have happened years ago resurface as a very present feeling and emotion. A love that was left behind once again appears before you in the same guise it had before, or the same guise it had when you first met. Old loves walk in fairy, haunting the paths you walk, waiting for acknowledgement, hoping for recognition, accusing or pleading. The shadow of the past can be a help or a hindrance in life's journey. A love that will not leave you, that haunts your dreams, whether waking or sleeping, must be greeted and listened to. Listen to it, but know that if it is no longer part of your future, whether that's because you have simply changed and it's not the direction that you're going, or you don't resonate with that frequency any longer, that you can let it go. We can be good at listening to things that we don't actually have to absorb. Have you ever met someone that's just, I just can't even listen to that. I used to be that person. I don't even want to be in that space. Okay, that's fine. But what if you're the light in that space? What if you bring a new meaning to that meeting again? To that person or to that place? If this card turns up, perhaps the things that were left unsaid at the end of a relationship could be said now in fairy. If you do so, the shadow, if unneeded and unwanted, may depart and the haunting end. You don't have to haunt your old self. You could also be doing that. It doesn't even have to do with another person, because the sun's in Virgo. It's relational. You don't have to haunt your old self. You don't have to go, why did I do that? It was part of your journey. It's part of your story, but you don't have to keep reliving it. You don't have to haunt yourself. On the other hand, if you enjoy encounters with the past, then greet your old love with joy and listen to what it has to tell you and let it go freely. Freely. Do not put a pin in it and let that past, that hook, pull you out, pull your energy out. Don't just let it go free. Holding on to the past can be an unproductive thing if it blinds or deafens you to what is happening in the present. Letting go can lift the shadow of the past and make way for the joy of the future. And that's why we're here, is to welcome the joy of the future and to embrace the dreams of the future. So our theme is really waking up to the dream. Waking up to the dream. Virgo is our gut. It's our small intestine. Okay. When we do not have a strong gut connection, we have leaky gut, we have gut issues, there is something much deeper happening. Much deeper happening. Because our gut is meant to actually be on fire. It is the fire. It is the center. And yes, Virgo is earth. But if we don't have enough fire in our gut, we will never take a risk. We will never trust our center. We will let our center be pulled so far off course by what so-and-so said or some expert or meh. What does God say? God wants you to put your damn feet on the floor, Pisces, and take a walk. Barefoot. Not with shoes that squish your toes. I've been teaching yoga again, y'all, so I'm looking at a lot of feet, not in a creepy way, not in like a foot fetish way, but because I'm looking at how people ground. And when I see toes, okay, don't hate me if your toes are like this, I can get you some toe spreaders, okay? I danced, so my feet used to be like that, okay? It takes work to let your phalanges open up, to let your connection to the divine source open back up. You'd never have to choose to be closed forever. It's a choice, but it's your patterns. I modeled for years. I used to literally have a shoe collection that rivaled some, there was a lot of money in that shoe closet, okay? All right. Beautiful stilettos. Beautiful. And I gave them up because they were squashing my life. Okay. I opted to start going barefoot. I opted to start taking socks off, unless it's winter, and then please keep your feet warm. Okay. But your toe is not supposed to go that way. If your big toe is not facing forward, you are not going forward in your life. You're going off course. And I literally mean that in a literal way. Virgo is literal. Your body is something literal in space, with bones and tendons and ligaments and organs and systems in place to tell you when something is off. If you don't listen to the systems when they are going, and you start to dial down that sound, if you dial down the sound on when something in your life is going, you dial down what you hear when you hear God, you dial down source, because your body is a living embodiment of that. So it is for you to get specific, and yes, to sometimes separate and go, oh, this part of what I'm eating or what I'm drinking or what I'm doing, I'm going to separate. I'm going to take these things out of my diet. I'm going to take these drinks. I'm going to take these drugs out of my system. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to use myself as an experiment. I don't have to, I can listen to people who've done it before, who've done these things before, and I can seek guidance, because Virgo is also the high priestess. You want someone who knows what they're doing. You don't want to do your first enema solo. I mean, you want to do it in private, but you want to know what you're doing. Okay. Although I will, if you need a buddy, hi. Okay. You do a juice cleanse. You do a parasite cleanse. You don't do that just willy-nilly. There are steps. There's a system to follow. Okay? Doing something without proper guidance can sometimes get you into deeper trouble than just having not ever done it at all. And then those are the people that are like, this didn't help, and become keyboard warriors. Okay? Because we can do that. but then I would want to look at their feet. Okay. So having hands on your belly, giving yourself gentle abdominal massage, touching your own feet, opening up your feet, getting acupressure or acupuncture. Guys, YouTube is the best resource. It is more resource than any other search engine in the world. Use it. There's brilliance out there that you can get for free. Okay? And then when you find a thing that you're like, that is going to point me in the right direction, then you go find someone who you can pay and get the guidance from. So Pisces needs your dream to be connected to the soil below you. It needs a place to put that seed. It needs a place to put that seed of awareness for it to start to grow, right? So similar to the way that Pisces concludes the sun's journey in the zodiac, okay? There's something when we have a Pisces full moon, it's at the end of a month too. It's asking you to surrender something now. Surrendering is not giving up. There's discernment that has to be had here. What do you have to surrender that you have to pay attention to, that you're being called to do, especially in regard to your spiritual sense of authority? Why? Because Saturn in April activated this degree of Pisces. Okay, because Saturn's been retrograde. It's back at 3 degrees now. But in April, Saturn was at 7 degrees of Pisces. Spiritual authority. If you have given your spiritual authority over to a doctor, over to a system that does not have your greatest health at heart, because Virgo is health, and your health is your wealth, then there's going to be a heaviness and you need to deal with it now. Don't let it discourage you. There's pain in growing. I see it in my children. I have 2 children teething, one growing molars and losing teeth, and another, her teeth are coming in for the first time. Sorry, take some painkillers. Can't do that with kids. Can't really do that with yourself either. It just numbs what you're designed to feel. Pain is an opportunity for prayer because we aren't meant to suffer. We are not meant to suffer. I've sat in suffering many times. But if suffering isn't bringing you to a higher place to seek something greater than your pain, then where is it taking you? If the people who you're reaching out to, who you're seeking, are not giving you a solution to bring you to a higher place, but are actually just encouraging you to stay in the same behaviors or to numb the thing that's actually going, pivot. There are so many other resources. There's 7 billion people on this planet. And there are people out there who are probably going through something very similar to you. And we have the internet. It's the age of Aquarius. You can find them. So I want to talk about these retrogrades because we need to have time to meditate. Okay, the retro always was going to symbolize a reflection period, a time to reimagine, a time to reassess, a time to readdress anything that has been unsolved in our lives. And when things are going and everything's direct, sometimes you just have to stay on the train. Right? You're like, I can't jump off the train now. It's going too fast. I'll hurt myself. You know, no one's ever tried to jump off a train before. Okay. So overall, retrogrades are great times, whether it's related to your health or to communicating something or to shifting something in your relationship, to change your career, to shift responsibilities, to address personal power. Retrogrades really in their highest way can be used for mastery. And I have a lot of friends who have a lot of retrogrades in their charts, and I consider them high masters because they are very consistent at looking at their lives as reflective. And they then mirror that out to people. So let's go through these retrogrades, okay? So, and I'm going to go in order of when they started their retrograde. And if you want to write down the dates, here you go. Pluto, love you, Pluto, my planet. Pluto, planet of transformation and deep soul change, retrograded May 1st. And it will stay in retrograde through October 11th. It started in Aquarius, early degrees of Aquarius, and it's back in Capricorn. This is the last time, hallelujah, that Pluto will be in Capricorn for another 248 years. You know what it's inspiring in you? Fearlessness. Say it with me. Fearlessness. I recently started rereading the Bible, and I love all spiritual texts. I believe as a yogi and as a mystic that you have to read spiritual texts, and the Bible is one of them. The thing that the Bible says more than anything else is do not be afraid. You'll find that written more than anything else. Your soul is not afraid. Your ego is afraid about what are people going to say? Oh, it's different. Oh, it's going to be weird. But does it light you up? As we move into Pluto and Aquarius, you better embody your weird, your unique, your slightly awkward, but your character, because that is going to pull in your community, because Aquarius is also the age of community. And community is immunity. Those who've been in AYI know this. That was our catchphrase. Still is. Okay, Saturn retrograde started June 18th. It's in Pisces. It will be retrograde through November 4th. Right now, Saturn is sidling up. It's right next to the moon, opposing the sun in Virgo. So this full moon, we have Saturn retrograde holding hands with the moon and reflecting. Saturn is the planet of life lessons, of discipline, devotion. Saturn is the taskmaster. Are you willing to go to task for your dreams? Are you willing to just let them float on by? Okay. Neptune retrograde started July 1st. It will end December 6th. Neptune is also in Pisces. Okay. Neptune wants you to dissolve your illusions. Dissolve your illusions. I encourage you to look at where Pisces is in your chart, your specific chart, and what house it's in will give you deeper reference as to what area of your life that you're feeling this disillusionment. Okay. Venus retrograde started July 23rd. For those of us who are doing our Venus retrograde 40 to 44 day practice, it will end on September 3rd. And it's in the sign of Leo, the heart. Right? Leo is a fixed sign. Retrograde Venus in Leo is like, how much do you believe that you are the king and the queen of your life? How willing are you to go to battle for what you love? How willing are you to stand firm in your spine for what truly lights you up? Chiron, which is the wounded healer planet, it's the planet, the minor planet, some call it an asteroid. It's a minor one. Sits between Saturn and Uranus. That started its retrograde also on July 23rd. And that goes through December 6th. And that's in Aries. Many of us, I know I have many friends that are at their Chiron return. Chiron returns to the station, the place in which it was when you were born at around age 50. And when you have a Chiron return, you are healing. You have an opportunity. Let's put it that way. You always have an opportunity when something returns to revisit and shift something powerfully. So Chiron returned for all my 50-year-old friends, and they're having these big changes in their body because Aries is the body. Aries is your spirit. It's the warrior, right? Aries is a force. Hi, I'm an Aries. Okay. You need to treat your body like the holy temple that it is. And when you don't do that, you feel wounded by any little thing that comes on by that says the wrong thing to you. Do you notice how much in the collective people are so bent out of shape about what people say to them? But then you look, and this is not judgmentally, y'all, but you look at their body and you see sallow skin and you see weak muscles and you see too much fat or you see too little fat. You're either a stick or you're too big and your bones can't hold it. And you can't fight for yourself, and your body knows that it won't do well in a fight. That does not give you a lot of internal faith that you can go to battle for something bigger than you, and your dreams are bigger than you. So fight, but not against people, not even against your past selves, but fight for the divine will of God and why God put you on this planet, why you chose to come. Okay, so Mercury retrograde. I'm feeling very passionate today. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Okay, so Mercury retrogrades, retrograded. That's not a word. It retrograde on August 23rd. It will be retrograde through September 15th. Okay, it's retrograde in Virgo. Mercury is ruled by Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So it's in a place that it's comfortable, but it's not always comfortable revisiting old mindsets that want to shift, because it is hard to reprogram your mind. It takes a lot of work, right? And our minds, we've been blessed with 3, the negative, the positive, and the neutral mind. And let's just say I will encourage meditation during this time, because Mercury and Venus, their retrogrades happen like this. And while you're in it, it's like, oh, this is taking forever because things get messed up. I have a car. We have a car right now. We're down to 1 car because the car that's paid off had some engine failure. Okay. It's been in the shop for over a week, and it could be another 2 weeks. Right? It's taking like all the patience and also all the poking of like, so I need an update. So what have you done? So how's it going? Because the things that get done are revisited. The things that just get put on the back burner that you don't even check in on just go by the wayside. You feel me? Okay. So keep checking in with those thought patterns and the things that want to be purified so that you can actually step into a higher aspect of your soul. Okay, and finally, Uranus retrograded 2 days ago. This is when it really started popping off in my house, okay? August 28th. And it will go through, Uranus is the planet of unexpected change. It's just like, shift. You have no choice because it's just like 0 to 100. There's just something crazy, something's wrong, something needs your immediate attention. And it came out of left field. So August 28th through January 27th, 2024 The Uranus retrograde is going to take us into the next year, and it's in Taurus. Let me tell you what, the planet right now is under attack. Okay? There are forces that can modify weather. So it's not, some of these things are not actually natural. They're going to call them natural disaster. They're going to call them climate change. I want you to keep your eyeballs, and I mean this eyeball too, open. Meditate so that when those unexpected things happen, they don't pull you so far off course that you stop doing the spiritual practices that keep you grounded and centered through the chaos. And it's going to get like, they're going to get louder, right? We have a hurricane coming right through the East Coast right now. It's crazy. It's a crazy hurricane. It's a hurricane that hasn't hit certain areas ever before. Major prayers up. Okay, so lastly, September 5th, we have a Jupiter retrograde coming. So we'll have, thank goodness, we'll have the lightning. Venus will go direct September 3rd. Shortly after September 15th, we'll have Mercury moving forward again. So at least those personal planets will be going with Mars, right? Okay. Jupiter retrograde is coming September 5th to the last day of the year, December 31st. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Okay. Jupiter is benevolence that you can't logically understand, right? Jupiter, there's no bad placement for Jupiter, but it's like, what do you do with the abundance? What do you do with it? And so Jupiter is retrograding. Let me peek here. In Taurus. Yes, Jupiter is in Taurus. At 15 degrees, is going to retrograde in Taurus. Okay. And this is a great time to align your finances. A great time to understand that what you make is not your worth, but what you do with what you make is what creates deeper worth. And do you want to leave a legacy behind you on this planet? Or do you want to just leave the planet with what? Right? What are you leaving behind? So, because life is so fleeting, we know that. All right. Let me check my notes. How are we doing out there? We're doing good? We're doing okay? All right. Okay. I'm going to talk for about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to do 2 meditations. Both of the meditations we're going to do, by the way, are for the full moon. So they're good ones. Okay. Full moons, great time to balance your emotional and physical reality. And the earth is very physical. That's Virgo. And it's very much about reality, the reality of now. What is your health like now? Right? What is your existence like now? And what is your emotional reality, which is Pisces. Okay. It's very mindful it's important, I should say, to be mindful of what that moon is illuminating for you, and to really think back full circle, because we had the new moon in Pisces, February 20th. So it's nice when you think about a full moon, you kind of got to go back 6 months and say, what have I been consciously and or unconsciously manifesting since then? And that's why it is really cool when you can get together on these circles, or you can honor the new moon or the full moon in a way that makes you reflect where you're at, so that you can take very conscious steps forward. Right? Okay. During this Pisces moon cycle, though, I want you to just release linear thinking. It's very boring right now. Okay? Because if you're linearly thinking during a Pisces full moon, you're just making a horizontal step. And I kept trying to think, what is that called in football? I should have just asked my husband, but I was like, it's going to come to me. It never came to me. But where you like pass to the side, we're not passing to the side right now. We are throwing the ball for a touchdown. Okay? Because taking horizontal steps are friggin' boring. We need to take steps forward, and we need to take them in our dreams, because while everything is slowing down and it's like, lay down, I want you to lay down. And you can lay down right now if you want to. And if you already are, I clap for you. This is miracle energy. So dissipate, literally dissipate and become the ether. We talked about this earlier. Pisces is the gas. If water comes in 3 forms, be the gas. Permeate into everything. What does water have? H2O, oxygen. Give yourself breath. Give yourself meditation. Experience your limitlessness. Be the cloud. And please let go and cry on the earth. Give the earth your tears. Give the earth your blood. Give the earth your art. Pisces it's like living earth. If you've ever met a Pisces, you know what I mean. Okay? They are not held back by limits. You try to put a limit on them and they're like, beep. Remember, water finds a way. You can take air out of a room. It's very hard for water to not find a way through. And it carries the air. Okay? It carries the conscious breath with it. So if Virgo is the science, if Virgo is the systems that allow the dream and the vision to come to life, you have to have a dream first. Yes, Virgo technically comes before the dream, but when you're a child, think back when you were a child. Many people weren't always encouraged to dream or to dream big, or, you know, you can be whatever you want to be. And many of us were marketed that, forgetting that there's also systems and structures that are there to support us, not just like keep us small. Okay, but think back when you were a child and you weren't thinking about like, yeah, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be an astronaut. You didn't start thinking about how much school you needed. You didn't start thinking about how many hours that would be. You just saw the vision. That's the energy that I want you to have for this Pisces full moon. Just feel the vision. Just feel it. Dress yourself in the vision. Because you need both, honey. You need the science, you need the systems, and you need the dream. This is divine cosmic consciousness. That saying, let go and let God. That's what this is for. Let go and let God. The generating, organizing, destroying force work its way through you. Because you cannot and you are not supposed to do it alone. Pisces is the energy of we are all one. And when you think about the zodiac, there's truly only 6 signs because all of it is on an axis. It's all connected. Virgo is not separate from Pisces. Your dream is not separate from your reality. Your mind will tell you otherwise. Your mind will separate you from your dream. So you have to feel it. You have to look the part. That's why we have Leo come before Virgo. Leo wants to dress you like the king, the queen that you are, and what you are representing, so that as you put your aura, as you put yourself out into the world, you evaporate your consciousness into everything that you touch, see, smell, taste, everything that you merge with. And you're here to merge with the ultimate creator, as you have been created for something great and something holy. Grace is welcoming itself into your body over this full moon. Here's a prompt. How much more graceful would your life be if you let go of ... How much more graceful would your life be if you let go of ... In the end is my beginning. Remember, Virgo separates for a higher good. It sheds evidence and it gives us the correct measurements and the diagnosis to purify what ails you. But that is a part of the occult, the act of separating from the whole. But this Virgo season, please do not lose sight of the entire flow of life, the entire flow of the cosmos through you. Because ultimately, why do we purify? We do that to come together. And that is what Pisces does. It is the mystic, and that unifies and unites us in deep and profound ways. And there is really, truly a subtle quality to all this that can seem really confusing to those who are hyper logical. And when you get hyper logical, that's when you know it's time to slow down and feel what it is that is begging you to feel it. The pain, the joy, whatever it is. The more that you treat yourself with quality life, quality food, quality medicine, water, movement, the better protected you are from the effects of the cosmos on your ego, and how much you can remain centered in your divine purpose. Virgo is like your internal compass, okay? Remember, you turn your head, where your attention goes, energy flows, okay? You turn your head to McDonald's, you're going to shit a brick later, or maybe not poop for a week, okay? But if you turn your head to the garden, your compass, it lights up, right? It tells you, oh, yep, that's north. That's what we're growing right now. Always look to what we're growing. The fruits, the vegetables that are in season have a shape and a color and a purpose. And I want you to get subtly connected to them. When you're sick, your compass is thrown off. You're lost. You're suffering. You've lost faith in a higher teaching. But again, I said it earlier, God doesn't want you to suffer. Pain is a way through, but it is not the way through. And okay, here's another one. Do you believe that you can heal? Do you believe that you can heal? Do you think that healing is purely logical? So stop judging your journey. Hard stop. Stop questioning it. Just pivot immediately. Swivel your head, look in a new direction, because God works in mysterious ways. The forces of the universe work in mysterious ways, but it is a mathematical science, and it's up for our interpretation. And our interpretation is based on how subtle we are attuned to the world around us, to the earth. Can you allow the mystery to take you on an adventure of a lifetime? So don't let yourself become undone. The shadow of this energy is addiction. That is not practical. Do not fall back to your addiction. Reach out to a friend. Reach out. I want you to be drunk on spirit, not spirits. I want you to be high on life, not drugs. Okay. Another prompt for now or for later. What do you have hope for? I love my name. I used to despise my name because everyone rhymed with it. Hope, dope, mope, soap, cope, hope. But seriously, what do you have hope for? This is a very hopeful energy, depending on the direction that you're looking for, because where there is destruction, there is new creation. But where are you giving your inner and external resources to that creation? What are you creating with your resource? So this Virgo season really offers us an opportunity to channel that mental energy into positive avenues. And you can do this with the support of yourself, your partner, because Venus is retrograde. You might be going through things with your partner. This is a time to transform your ideas into really actually productive actions. And then after this full moon, or even before it, because we'll have time after the wisdom circle, if you have time to take, I want you to write down your desires. Write down all your desires. Write them out with your words. Okay. All right. So let's meditate. Because I also just got the text from my husband and he was like, the baby's going to crash soon. It's like, then we have to meditate. Okay. And if you want to rest, and then as you come out of your rest, and I'll post in the daily 333 chat a beautiful yoga nidra from my teacher to listen to. And then when you come out of it, to write them all down, write all your desires down. Okay. So let's tune in and we'll do our 2 full moon meditations. Okay. Exhale. Inhale another breath. Exhale, let the jaw go. Inhale for the Adi Mantra. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Exhale. Inhale for protection. Adgurde name, Jugadgurde name, Satgurde name, Siddhi Guru Deve name. Adgurde name, Jugadgurde name, Satgurde name, Siddhi Guru Deve name. Adgurde name, Jugadgurde name, Satgurde name, Siddhi Guru Deve name. Adgurde name, Jugadgurde name, Satgurde name, Siddhi Guru Deve name. Inhale. Press your palms together, bathe yourself in white healing light, and push that light out far, far beyond you. Exhale. Okay. We're going to have 2 meditations. We're going to do them for one for 6 minutes and one for 11 minutes. Okay. So our first meditation, we're going to be utilizing the sa, re, sa, sa, sa. Oh, sorry. Sa, re, sa, 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 re, sa. Sorry, guys. I have to look at it because I was singing it in my head. Sa, re, sa, sa. Sa, re, sa, sa. Sa, re, sa, 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 rung. Hare, re, hare, 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 re, hare, 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 re, hare, 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 rung. Okay. This is a mantra that is really beautiful to use over the full moon because it is a key to opening the flow of Kundalini energy, and it helps to bring peace and security and wisdom to make the right choices in our life. So in the chat, I'm going to put the mantra just so you can see it, but you'll get it. When we chant hud, 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 your navel will pull in. Hud, hud, hud. So I love this mantra because we're actually activating that Virgo digestive energy as well. Everything has relevance, right? So we choose these, and they're given to us for deeper reasons. So the movement and the mudra. So your hands are going to start down here in prayer, right at the navel. The base of your wrist is right at your navel point. Okay, so you're going to sing sa, re, sa, sa. Your hands are going to keep going up. Sa, re, sa, sa. As it comes over your heart, you're going to start to pull your fingers apart into a lotus, but your pinky finger, Mercury, and your thumb stay touching. So as you come through your heart, they'll open up. Sa, re, sa, 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 re, sa, 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 re, sa, 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 rung. Okay, you're going to be at the third eye. Then you're going to turn your hands down. Hare re, hara, hara, hare re, hara, hara, hare re, hara, hara, hare rang. And so you go down into a reverse prayer. So it's as the mantra begins, ha re, har har, you turn the fingers to point down, the backs of the hands touching, slowly bringing the mudra down the chakras in rhythm with the music until the fingertips reach the navel point on the sounds har rang. And then you're going to turn around and begin again. Okay? Any questions before I get the music on? I'm just looking in the chat. No. Okay. Eyes are closed and we're going to sing along. So you're going to sing the mantra with it.
Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 rang. sa sa re sa sa re sa saram. Har re har har re har re har ram. Sa re sa re sa re sa saram. Har re har re har re ram. Sa re sa re sa saram. Har re har re ram. Sa re sa saram. Har re har ram.
Meditate for a moment. Notice what has been pulled up and through your own spine. The current of energy that flows through you. The seeds that you brought down from the heavens and planted deep inside of you. And what is ready to blossom and grow and expand beyond your wildest dreams. I really love that one over full moons. That was called the Antar Nad Mudra for the full moon. So I will also post our resources in the chat. Okay, our second meditation, if you were here before I was playing Song of the Siren, there's a full moon meditation track that I love listening to, and in it has the mantra Ek Onkar Sat Gur Prasad. This sound, because all mantras are sound codes, it's believed to transform negativity into positivity and turn negative thought patterns into positive ones. They call this the remover of obstacles, and it clears a path for those who feel stuck in any part of your life. The translation of Ek Onkar Sat Gur Prasad is the creator and the creation are one. All is a blessing of the one creator. And this realization comes through the Guru's grace. So beautiful, right? The creator being the Piscean energy, the God energy, and the creation, the Virgo, the physical reality of the incarnate being. So we're going to do, it's a one-part Kriya, it's called the Chandra, which is moon, Kriya Mudra. And it was a meditation that was given to be done on a full moon in a water sign. So it's perfect, right? Okay, so the mudra is a reverse Venus lock. So normally Venus lock is here, but we're going to reverse it. So you're going to let your fingers interlace, but pointing up towards you, and your thumbs to touch, and they rest in your lap. Sorry, I want to make sure you guys can see. So the fingers are like this, the thumbs to touch, the fingers point up, and they're just resting here. Okay. Okay. Oh, and yay. Jocko Paul jumped in for meditation. All right. So the mantra, as I mentioned, Ek Onkar Sat Gur Prasad, Sat Gur Prasad, Ek Onkar. So our focus on the Ek Ong, you're going to pull the in on the navel point. Ek Ong, the navel with a little jerk, and it stays on the Ek, and it stays in on Ong. Ek Ong Kar, you release it. Sat Gur, you're swirling energy up, lifting the diaphragm, and you bring that energy, you're energetically bringing it to your heart. Prasad, you release that lock in the diaphragm. And as you're singing the mantra, you'll get that flow. So you don't want to overthink it. And then you'll repeat Sat Gur, and it swirls the energy up into the diaphragm, bringing it to your heart. Prasad releases. Ek Ong, the navel jerks in a little bit and stays. And then Kar releases. Okay, so we're going to do this one. Since we're a little short on time, I'll keep both of these to 7 minutes. But this full moon mantra, it says, with this mantra, each pore of the body becomes an eye, an Indra eye, known as the Indra Nitri. All eyes get opened. This opens the third eye, and it opens it all the way. So let's do it. Eyes are closed. There's no focused gaze, but your eyes are closed.
Guru Prasadik Omkarik Omkar Satguru Prasad Satguru Prasadik Omkar Satguru Prasad Satguru Prasad Ek Omkar Satguru Prasad Satguru Prasad Satguru Prasad, Satguru Prasad ek Onkar, ek Onkar, 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 Satguru Prasad, Satguru Prasad ek Onkar.
Inhale. Exhale, release. Just absorb, invite and allow all that is stirring and swirling to permeate as water and sound does just that. And come to lay down on your back. We're going to close with 3 minutes of gong. And since my gong does not translate via Zoom, we're going to play my teacher playing his gong. Come down onto your back. If you have that blanket that I offered or a pillow, you can place your pillow under your knees or place the blanket over top of you. Relax down onto your back. We're going to play the track that is the gong for healing. Close your eyes and just invite yourself to be washed in sound. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Allow your jaw to open as you point your feet forward and stretch your arms overhead, creating long length across the entire front of your body, opening up the mouth, the belly, the hips, the feet, the arms. And exhale, draw your knees into your chest one at a time. And rock across the back of your pelvis from side to side. Holding your knees in, rolling the back of your skull across the ground. Any yawns, any sighs, any sounds that need to leave the body, let them leave. And then roll on over to one side and find yourself in a fetal position, curled into yourself. We always need to release the seed back to the earth to grow something of beauty, of grace. And so as the energy is nearly peaking for this full moon, remind yourself what it is that you are releasing so that you can stand in so much brilliance and so much radiance that it rivals the sun. And take your time to bring yourself up into your seat. Maybe you keep your eyes softly closed again as you bring your hands into your heart and press your palms together. Feel your spine grow like the stem that it is up and out of your own pelvis, rooting down through your sit bones. Lifting your heart and feeling your chin draw slightly in. And thanking yourself for arriving today, for showing up to breathe into your own wisdom, to meditate with your own vessel, and to call forward what it is that you're creating and what you're co-creating with the divine in you and the divine all around you. Let's inhale together to tune out. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. No. No. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here this evening. Your presence was so deeply appreciated. Oof. The full moon perfects in about 45 minutes. So I encourage you to go look at her. She's so beautiful. It's the biggest full moon of the year. And I'll be posting some things in the chat, but I encourage you to stay off your devices if you can and just soak in everything that we just did. maybe write some more, connect some more, maybe do a yoga nidra, get into your dreamscape. Yeah, I'm very excited. We're gonna have I've been dreaming up some really beautiful things for our retreat coming up too. So if a few of you are coming who are here, but if you're looking to gather with women for a special weekend over the fall equinox, we're doing a retreat. Angela and I from Daily 333 in Annapolis, Maryland, at her home, which is so sacred to begin with. But all women, there's going to be max 11 of us, including her and I, from September 21st to the 24th. So Thursday through Sunday. There are day passes available if you're local and you want to come for a day, Friday or Saturday for the equinox. But I'll be bringing the gong. I'll be bringing all the props. We're going to have gong every night. We're going to have yoga in the morning before, and we'll have afternoon sessions, just wisdom sessions, sharing and talking about all the things that we love and that support us in our health and our wealth and in our divinity. So we would love to have you. If you have questions, let me know, let Angela know. And yeah, it's 333. That's the cost. Includes your food, your room with shared accommodations, and all the things that we're doing on the retreat. So just bring yourself and close, and we'll have a good time. Okay. I love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening, and I will see you tomorrow for Daily 333.